inspired you to start the school?
What a great question. We started to learn, we were people that were members of Friends Meeting, the Quaker meeting that's kind of attached to the school. And we started to learn about Quaker education. And all of us had young children ready for school. And they were getting ready to go to whatever the public school was. Well, the ideas about Quaker education, for instance, cooperation instead of competition, and solving problems by talking it all through and not resorting to hitting and name calling and all of that. And small classes, all of those things were part of the ideas of Quaker education that we really liked as parents. And we thought, well, we've learned all about Quaker education and we visited other schools. I think it's time to give it a try. And that's what we did.
Peer of great price. Discovering true selves, experiential learning, light within realized. Deb and Ted, first co-founders of SCFS.
Compassion. The staff's compassion for the students, quality education, and living the Quaker testimonies is breathtaking. Be it simple gestures, kind words of support, or deep conversations, friends, school teachers, and staff are always fully engaged in the growth of all students. Even when staff disagree about decisions, we all held the benefit and education of the students as our North Star. Inquisitiveness. A hallmark of Friends School is one of the traits I think many of our students carry throughout life. And what a life skill to have. Affirming. I have never known a school or community that was more intentional about affirmation. Students and adults were always encouraged to be themselves, no matter what trait, talent, or skill they demonstrated. Students always found a warm and helpful voice to affirm, encourage, and nudge when necessary. Through affirmation and encouragement, I believe that many, many talents were discovered and nurtured in our alumni. Dan Hendy, former head of school.
Friends' understanding of a grounded education, one that feeds, waters, and strengthens in time. These child seeds of our future friends clarity that educating the whole child needs an education that is experimental, spiritual, moral, and practical.
As a new member of Friends Meeting in 1980, I was intrigued when I heard of the plans starting for a Friends School in the basement of the meeting house. I'd recently left a Friends School after teaching for 5 years, and the prospect of having a school as part of a meeting sounded exciting. So, from painting walls in the basement through the first fun fair, as an administrator/head, and enrolling our children and serving on numerous committees, I joined the school's journey as I became a grown-up in the local educational community. It wasn't easy to stand independently alongside the strong public schools, but as later heads and teachers underscored the Quaker values throughout the grades and secured academic excellence within the social and emotional nurturing of the individual schools made its presence felt. 40 years later, I am so glad to still be connected and watch the school grow. Looking at our country and the world right now, I worry, but I also know for sure that the students are learning what they need to learn to express themselves, to solve problems on paper and amongst themselves, to create and to tackle hard issues head on, and to have fun. Who wouldn't want to stay involved in all that? And it's happening. The years ahead are bound to have more bumps. That Friends School will always be an exciting and educational experience for everyone who's a part of the community. Congratulations, Polly Dunn.
Where we learn to do democracy. When I began my headship in the summer of 2001, State College Friends School was 20 years old. It was a growing, vital, innovative, and necessary school in the area. It remains so to this day. It was and is our learning home for children and for some of us, the hub and heart of our social circle. And now we celebrate 40 years. When I think about my hope for Friends School's next 40 years, I think about the educational and social impact Friends education, small but mighty, has had on education in America over the last 350 years. John Dewey articulated an educational philosophy in harmony with Friends' teaching methods and purposes, emphasizing students' experience and their personal construction of knowledge. Dewey maintained that the purpose of school was to give children the opportunity to practice living in a classroom democracy, so that they would become active, ethical, and academically prepared participants in the American democracy. This is what State College Friends School has done for 40 years, and I can think of no more important mission than fulfilling that purpose, day after day, now and in the future, especially when democracy seems more fragile than we ever thought it could be. I hope Friends School continues its mission to weld together academic learning with social responsibility, seeding the world with young people who exhibit informed analysis, creativity, a passion for justice, and a calling to make their small part of their community a better place to live. Larry Bodges, former head of school.
The clarity that Quaker's education is too precious to be lost.